Biohacking. Do people here know what that means? Biohacking. Anyone in chat got an idea of what biohacking is? Because if you do, you're doing better than the people who actually biohack, I believe. It is a movement where people are hacking like you do with computers. Yes, you hack a website so you can change the picture on the front page to be a cat's butthole or something, right? Hacking, it's like when you hack your biology. So a lot of these people are trying to make themselves immortal, essentially, using science. Or at least that's how it started. That's how it started. Kind of taking technology and the tech bras, and bringing them into the world of health. How can we use language that sounds computery and actually really what you're doing is drinking protein shakes, doing a few push-ups, and you have a stainless steel water bottle, therefore it's toxin free. I don't know. It's things like this. It's basically just trying to make yourself as healthy as possible and live forever using science and hacking your biology. So this movement started a while ago. I'm not sure quite how long ago it was, but it's been around for a while. I remember Patrick, my husband, he's a IT person. So he's a programmer. So he was the first to be introduced to it because, again, he's in the world of tech. So he knows a lot of the tech buzz. People would do all sorts of weird things. There'd be like intermittent fasting, aka forgetting breakfast. Or they would be doing something like, a supplementation or whatever it is, and checking their biomarkers. You know what a biomarker is? It's nothing like a permanent marker. It's not even a permanent marker made out of blood. But I reckon that would be much cooler. Can you imagine? Science, sea ants, same difference, really. Freezing your body. Yeah, well, that's the sort of thing they would do. Like cryotherapy. I don't know. I think some of them like pump ozone up their buttholes or whatever it is. But there's a whole lot of different things that have developed over time. Originally, the concept was to use science to hack your biology so you are healthier, so you can get more work done, be more productive, get your startup off the ground, which basically means find anything other than your startup, anything else to occupy your time and energy. Tech bros are good at that, right? We're right back to the buttholes. I know. Somehow it all comes back to the buttholes, right? But see what I did there. Moving on. It's a thing that's been around for a while now. And look, GOOP. GOOP is the other thing. Some people know about GOOP, some people do not. A GOOP is a website run by one Gwyneth Paltrow, famous, extraordinarily beautiful, talented actress turned health and wellness expert person, I suppose. And GOOP is famous for selling weird stuff, like, eggs that you put up your butthole. It does always come back to buttholes. I don't know why. But, there's all these strange products, that have energies, that, channel your chakras, that are made from non-toxic things, or are good for your wellness, or for aligning your energies, or whatever it is, right? That's what this website used to exclusively sell. It was all these health and wellness things, supplements, like potions that you can dribble on your skin and like massage into your face to turn you like 700 years younger so you can look like you're negative 600 years old or whatever it is, right? $100 vagina scented candles. Yep, things like that. And that's what this website was famous for. And for the longest time, people would just make fun of this website. That's what people would normally do. They would make fun of the website. By the way, Piano Player 88 Key, thank you for joining. But I knew it as that website people made fun of. apparently had a big cult following. And my rant today is about the GOOPification of biohacking, because somehow these two worlds collided in a most beautiful, romantic, somewhat sexual. No, they collided in somewhat of a fashion, and now they are one. I'm not sure where this happened, but it happened. It happened. Now they are one. Now, I myself also, I'm not completely against the woo. I do believe in science and studies and, proven evidence-based things. But, I'm not completely against woo. I'm not completely against woo. For example, I 100% believe that you can use crystals to get back at your enemies. The sharp part, when you throw him, through the eye. There are places where this wellness stuff and the more, new age stuff, it actually works. Legit. For legit, right? You can align your chakras. You can do that. And who wants to have unaligned chakras anyway? Right? Yeah. So I'm not saying all of it is utter rubbish, because I don't actually think it is. Oftentimes the truth is somewhere between the two lies. Jed the Rocks, thank you very much for joining. However, it is pretty absurd, some of the stuff that does get peddled in these realms. So absurd that I think it constitutes a very large amount of reaction videos on the various channels. I'm sure that's actually the entire marketing of the website. They don't even have to have a marketing department. Reaction videos, TikTok does it for them. Believe. I see what you're doing there. Universe is largely about the expulsion of hot gases, so in a sense it does come down to the exhaust port. I guess biohacking, it started off being this super hyper scientific thing though. It was like, I will get my blood test done if I'm minutely, deficient in zinc. I will get myself zinc tablets, and then I will realign everything. I will use only the most scientific method to do my workouts. I won't exercise. I will science-icize. And I will become buff, and I will drink protein shakes, but they are made through science in a laboratory from liquid nitrogen and algae, spirulina, etc., and creatine and M&Ms. M&Ms. I think it's M&Ms. Probably the peanut ones. Take that, those with peanut allergies. You are never going to live forever anyway. Give up on immortality now. The rest of us, we have a chance, but not them. Not them, sorry. M&Ms. Make sure you eat those. Health food, I believe. Yeah, that's right. Resveratrol. You also need to make sure you pump yourself full of the resveratrol. That's something that you can find in wine. You can find resveratrol in wine. They gave wine to rats, and it turned out that they became extremely sophisticated, started wearing berets, smoking cigarettes, and saying, oh, just like the French. And that's what everyone wants. That's the secret to immortality. So make sure you take the resveratrol as well. And the healthy M&Ms. Exactly. What's the justification for these being healthy? Well, there are scientific studies, double-blinded, triple-reviewed, quadruple-farted, clinical, backed by completely unbiased sources for $700 million in Silicon Valley, scientific reviews that were done by an astrophysicist, and they found out that M&Ms are the essence of immortality. Yes, that's correct. I would cite my sources, but I'm too busy with my startup because I am a biohacker. There's one particular character who came into this scene, and I kind of love this guy. I really do. I'm not certain if he is the most genius businessman on the face of the planet, or just the highest degree of nutcase that's drunk his own Kool-Aid to the point where he's absolutely intoxicated off it. But either way, I want to be friends with this bloke. He seems fabulous. And he's called Bryan Johnson. I've posted a picture of one of his thumbnails before on my social media because he was talking about how important sleep is. Not getting any of that while I'm a new mother, but he's essentially a billionaire or a millionaire, or he has more money than sense sort of, individual. And that's just because he has more money than anyone has sense. He made it through selling Venmo to PayPal or something like that. And so he's got all this money, and he's decided to spend all this money on becoming immortal. And he's committed to it. He's legitimately committed to it. He's working out the required number of hours. He's eating the healthy foods. He's a vegan. He's, making sure he has perfect sleep. But then he's taking it further. And he's doing all of these biohacking things. These biohacking things like injecting his son's blood plasma into his blood. Yeah, this is a thing. Apparently you take someone else's plasma, you put it in yourself, and huzzah, superpowers. Or at least he's trying. Maybe not. I mean, who knows? I haven't seen his laser eyes yet, but he could just be keeping them on the down low until he's gotten control of his powers. Think about it, like Spider-Man and stuff went out prematurely was embarrassing. You really need to practice up the powers before you go out into the world with your cape. Otherwise, you're just going to humiliate yourself. So maybe he's just practicing. I'm not sure. He's a good AC/DC frontman also. This is true. This is true. But he's absolutely fascinating to me. So he's doing all these protocols. He's got the blueprint. He's using the big words that sound very technological. And he's using that to I suppose, build up a following online. And he's got a movement. His movement is the Don't Die movement. Don't die. It's doing significantly better than the competitor movement, which is the die movement. The die movement. I don't know why, but they're just losing members left, right, and center. That keeps plummeting. Whereas the don't die movement is growing. So I guess that's an achievement there. That's an achievement. But he's got this don't die movement. He was wearing black shirts which just say the words don't die, which I've noticed. I don't know. Has anyone else noticed this? But This is the current trend of the tech bras and everyone else. It's always black with like white text, minimalist, but like with white text, black with white text, diary of a CEO, black with the white text. Everything's black with the white text. He's got that too, but his says don't die. I mean, to be fair, maybe someone out there needs the memo. Like you're walking down the street, someone's like, don't die. Oh yeah, I should do that today. Thanks for reminding me. So it could be viewed as a nice thing. Could be viewed as a nice thing. Ictor Troll King said the fundamental flaw with the desire for immortality is that in the end, immortality is a curse. You get to watch everyone you love die. After a while, everything you enjoy becomes boring. While the world dies around you, you get to watch. In the end, you are all alone in a dead universe. Cool. There are so many goth emos out there who read that and thought to themselves, this is my dream. This is all I want. This is my true desire. So be careful how you sell it. Be careful how you sell it, Ick. Maybe he could be the first. He could be immortal. For all we know, I'm pretty sure he's quite convinced of it. And to be honest with you, maybe he will. Maybe he will be immortal. Maybe you will be immortal. Maybe I'm not immortal. No, that's not. No, that's not happening. But there is this quest for immortality. I find immortality an interesting quest just generally, not even because, everyone around you will die and all that, or, it will get boring after a while. But for me, it's an odd one because I think people always bring this up, but isn't the thing that's special about life the fact that it is finite? Isn't it the fact that we know that it's finite that makes it so very precious, right? So, as an example, when you choose to paint your house black, I don't know who does that, But the thing that makes that decision so potent is that you have a finite time on this earth and a finite time to live in your house. And you've decided, I'm going to paint the walls black. That's why that decision has gravitas. If you're painting it black because you're going to be alive for 10 billion years, and I mean, you're getting through the various hex codes and you're up to black today, it's less exciting. It's less exciting. And there's a black house. Sandorja, our house is pretty black. Yep. We have black ceilings, black roof, black floors, black everything that we could get in black, pretty much. But we do have some colored curtains. The ones in this room are black, though. What can you say? But it's very much like, I don't know. Could also be a very interesting thing. I've always liked the idea, I've toyed with the idea of how wonderful it would be if life is a simulation. And then rather than living one life forever, you know, when you finish this life, you get into a little control room, you sit at the computer and you punch in your coordinates for your next starting spot. And you're like, next time, I'm going to live in Lord of the Rings world. Next time, it's Doctor Who land. Next time, I'm going to be a 7-foot basketballer, or whatever it is. I think that would be more fun. You know, vary it up a little. Anyway, immortality. It's an interesting quest. Some would say that there is actually a genetic ceiling on how long we live for. And these idiots are called scientists, but we don't listen to those fools. We don't listen to those fools. You know, when it comes to longevity, we haven't really been able to crack the code there. The longest living human actually died over a quarter of a century ago. We haven't managed to get further than that. I think they lived till 120 something. No one has managed to get to that point since then. They died like over 20 years ago, so we've had a while to beat the record, and we have not managed it. We have not managed it. So extending lifespan has been a quest that has not really worked out so far. However, you know, people can have their hobbies and they can do what they want to do. The fun thing is, though, that when you get desperate enough and you are looking for any answer to a question or a problem that seems to have no answer, then you start trying some pretty odd protocols. You start, you know, stealing blood from your children, for example. I don't believe it was theft. I think the son agreed to it. The son was like, you take my blood, daddy. You take my blood. You can have my blood, daddy. And he took the blood. But, you know, regardless of whether consent was earned or not, it's an odd thing to do. Very intimate thing to do as well. I mean, anyhow. But, yeah, they start doing some odd things. And this entire field of biohacking, they've gotten to that stage, really. They've gotten to that stage. You know when you look at something for too long, or you say something too many times, and then it starts to just sound odd? It's like the duck experiment. Have you done the duck experiment? Where you just say the word duck over and over again. Duck, 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 duck. Duck, 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 duck. And after you've said it for like a number of minutes, it just starts to sound like gibberish and random sounds, and it's just weird. Duck experiment. You could say grapes. Got any grapes? But it would be the same thing. Whatever you do, if you hyperanalyze it, after a while, it just turns into like confusion in your head. And that's kind of what's happened here. So these people that started off like super hyper scientific are now the same ones that are buying like, you know, quantum crystal pads to do their yoga on because of the energy fields. And it's just kind of all collided in this like weird mishmash. So now we've got Gwyneth Paltrow, we've got Bryan Johnson, and we've got the chakras aligning at the same time through the protocols of the blueprint. And it's It's insanity. I made you do it. I made you do it, Rodimus Time Lord. Feels like this is going to come full circle to the butthole chakras. Reef the beef. It always comes back to the butthole. And yes, we have a root chakra. That is an actual chakra, the butthole chakra. So I suppose everything does come back to the root chakra. Come back to the root chakra. But I'm curious to see where this leads. Honestly, I'm curious to see where this leads. I'm not against it in any fashion, by the way. I find it fascinating.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and notification bell, because clicking things is fun. If you want to see the full versions of these Twitch streams, then you can on my channel, twitch.tv/MaryAmber. And if you want to catch VODs, if you've missed streams, then check out my Patreon, Ninja Club, patreon.com/MaryAmber.